Hi YouTube friends, it's Kelly, and I want to share with you a tutorial for my handmade flowers. I had about 6 different requests, and then I had 3 questions of people asking about my flowers, and I did have a tutorial, but I think it was one of the very first tutorials that I've ever done on here, so it's kind of old and it's a little bit I think it's fast, so I'm just going to show you I'm going to try to show you a play-by-play so that you can kind of get the idea of how I do my flowers. And I'm sure there's other tutorials out there, but because I had requests from my subbies, I will honor that. And if you still have any questions, please don't hesitate to email me. So what we're going to start out with is a small lace. I'm going to use circle punches like this as my base, and then I have flower centers. This is the buttoned with twine, and this one is a flat back pearl from MB Treasurista, and I used a buckle to put the pearl on. So please don't mind my stuffiness. I still am fighting this cold and I don't even know anymore. So, okay, when I use lace, a lot of times I will try to use the smallest lace possible just because my thicker laces don't want to lay flat. So the first thing that I do is I get my glue gun. I use my hot glue gun for everything, and I have burnt myself a lot. So if you don't want to use a hot glue gun, you can use ATG tape, and you can cover the circle in ATG tape. It will come apart most of the time. I used to try that. That was one of the very first things that I did when I first started, and it just didn't work. So basically how I'm going to show you that I do this is I go around the entire outside and pleat my lace. So I'm covering this, and I hope I'm in the frame. I'm covering this with my hot glue gun, and I'm just going to go around and pleat. I gather it a little bit and I pleat it. And as I pleat it, as I go around, it lays flat. And that was one of the questions that I had from someone. They said that they could not figure out how to get it to lay flat. When you pleat it, you basically are just pulling the material and overlapping it just maybe 1/8 of an inch every time that you pull. Excuse me. So I'm going to just add more glue, and then when you get to the end here, you just start adding more glue to the inside. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to pleat, and then I'm going to start pleating to the inside. And then I pleat it, and then I push it. I'll pleat with one hand, and then I'll push it down with the other hand. So I'm pleating and I'm laying it flat with the other hand. And I get a lot of glue strings, so don't mind me. And it's hard to do a tutorial on this because I usually pull it forward to me and look at it, so I'm trying to look at it in the camera, but it's working out pretty good. So you have your first layer. That's what your first layer looks like. And we're going in on the second layer. Okay. So again, we're going to pleat as we're going around, and I can feel the nice hot burniness of the glue, so let me I usually end up burning myself a little bit. I should have those silicone covers for my thumbs, but I'll just go back in and push that down as it's still cooling. Okay, so I'm gonna go back in here, and I'm gonna pull it up a little bit, and I'm gonna pleat it. I'm gonna keep going. Yeah, there's no perfect rhyme or reason to this, so the flowers might come out really beautiful, but the process of getting there is not beautiful. So, okay. I'm going to go in, pleat it, hold it down. I got a little bit too much glue there. Pleat it, pleat it. And there I got glue again. Okay, and then pleat it again and push it down. Now, as you can see, there's quite a few hot glue strands in there. Don't worry about that because we can go in with our heating tool, heat that up, and it disappears. Okay? Alright, so we are actually working on our third layer now. We've gone the whole way around, and I'm actually on the third layer. Okay? So, I'm going to go back in with the glue again. I'm going to keep going around to the center. And I'm going to pleat, and push it down. And that one kind of came up a little bit. Okay, pleat it over, pleat it. As you get towards the middle, it does get a little more difficult, and like I said, don't worry about the glue strands because they'll disappear with your heating tool. And you just keep going, keep going, keep going till you get to the center. Okay. And then this, I actually didn't have to cut this off because I am at the center, so I'm going to pleat this around and put it in the middle. But when you get to the middle and you don't have an end, but you have to cut it off, I usually cut it off at an angle, and then I'll take the bottom part that is the point of the angle, and then I'll take that part and adhere it to the center, so that way it is still a complete full scallop, as you can see the scallops that are going around. Okay, so I'm gonna get my glue strings off of me here. Okay, I'm gonna heat set this. Okay, so now we have our finished layered flower product, and this is what it looks like without having a center on it. So let's say you could use this, and you could put a button on the center of it, or if you wanted to, you could use the flat back pearl, and I think that's the one I'm going to use. So again, I'm just going to add a little bit of glue to the center. Take my flat back pearl, and there you have your handmade flower. Okay, I wanted to show you also, this is how they lay flat. I mean, this is pretty flat. When it comes to putting a layout in an album, this is pretty good as far as, like, you know, having no dimension. I mean, you're going to have a little bit of dimension, but yeah, that's pretty flat. So that's our flower. I wanted to show you one more really cool thing that you can do. These little pearl sprays are from MB Treasurista, and you can take these pearl sprays, excuse me, and what I like to do is I like to take them and put them around like this, and then what I'll do is I'll just take this and weave this down around here, and then I'll create like a really nice little base. And I have one here that I've already done, excuse me, and it looks like this. Okay, and then what you can do when you make your flowers like this, you can actually take this part here and I'll pull the pearls up and around so that they're not hidden. Sorry guys, my nose is still really stuffy. And then what I'll do is I'll take and I'll just glue that to the back of this so that you have a really cool accent. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Show you here. And I wish I had, I have feathers somewhere and I don't know where they are. But so what I'll do is I'll just adhere that to this on the back. And there you have a really, really pretty flower, and then and a really pretty added embellishment. So, okay guys, that is my flower, really flat and really interesting. And I hope that helps you guys. If you have any more questions, please email me and I'll be happy to try to help you work through it to get your handmade flowers to work in all of your projects. So thanks guys so much for watching and have a great day. Bye!